violent Kandi. Kandi scares me. She's a violent woman. I think she needs anger management. She wants to headbutt the Courtney girl, even though the Courtney girl deserved it. She also is mad at mad at Marlo and wants to choke her. Like, she's very violent, but when we seen her on the SWV show, she was all shaky, like I don't know. But she, she didn't have all that fire and all that smoke. But with the Real Housewives, because she feels like she's above those women. Because let's be honest, none of the women actually have talent on that show. She feels like she's above them. But with the SWV escape, she realized that she cannot compete with talent. She might have more money, but she does not have more talent than Tiny, Tamika, and Latasha. As far as singing, dancing, she doesn't have the talent. She's not valuable enough. She does what she does. She fits in the group. I'm not saying she doesn't fit into that group. She fits into it, but she is intimidated by powerful, talented women. The housewives, they're not talented. They don't do anything. They don't have any talent. Fighting and arguing, it is what it is. So anyway, so Kandi was crying because Todd, what's up, Make It Make Sense? How you doing? A little headbutt between friends. Never. So Kandi was crying like, I want to make these the bad guy. She was all crying and everything, like she always do, crying and shit, right? So I guess Todd wants her to help him write a skit or something to that effect, and she feels like he wants her to make time for her and all this other stuff, and what Todd didn't realize, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, Todd didn't realize that he was supposed to be the bitch. You are supposed to support me in whatever I do. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell y'all some shit. Shout out to the hospital picture crew. Kandi wanted Todd to be what Croy is. Croy is Kim's bitch. All he does is, hold her wigs in place, carry her bags and stuff like that. Croy doesn't have a job. He is a house husband. This is what Kandi wanted. She wanted a house husband. She took Todd away from, being one of the producers on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and so she started messing with the employees. You can't have that and have that done. So she knew Todd wasn't going to be seen by Hollywood. Ain't nobody was checking for him. Now, what Todd did was see this as an opportunity for him to get the bag. Kandi's always talking about getting the bag, but we never hear about Kandi actually talking about love. We never hear Kandi actually talking about family and how important it is. The only thing we hear from Kandi is, I'm going to get the bag, I'm going to get the bag, I'm going to get the bag. And we got to stop saying that. Can we retire that whole phrase, getting the bag, in 2023? That's what the shit I hear on like the Bad Girls Club. Get into the bag. We get into the bag. What bag are you getting? Like, how much money is in this bag? I can literally put $1 inside a plastic bag and say, I'm getting to the bag. Like, that saying is so stupid to me. It is dumb, Kandi be talking about making love and that what do you say? Here we go. Kandi be talking about love making, and that counts too. You tried it. No, okay. So she can tell us about what position and how sexual we need to be, vibrating panties and stuff like that. But as far as like love, Kandi does not. We don't get that. We don't get love from her. We get money, the chase of money. And maybe she had a horrible childhood, and that's why, she's all concerned about money. But someone who has money doesn't talk about, oh, get into the bag, get into the money. I need to do this. Like, if you're good and you're solid with your money, you don't need to keep telling us about it, You don't need to keep reminding us that you get into the bag, you got this going on, you got that. I think a perfect show would have been like what's that show that Donald Trump used to have? The Apprentice. She should have been on The Apprentice and told us about business. You know what? I got the perfect job for Kandi because she definitely shouldn't be on the Housewives. I got the perfect job for her. Shark Tank. Put her on Shark Tank. I think that would be the perfect job for her. Shark Tank. You know, the show where you have like the millionaires and billionaires and they're investing money in people product. Put Kandi on Shark Tank. That would be the perfect show for her. But I don't think her being a housewife is the best job for her. And let me tell you, I don't hate Kandi in real life. I think she's an amazing businesswoman. I think what she has done for her family, her friends, put them all on, give them a job. I definitely appreciate Kandi. I know it sounds like I'm just hating. I respect Kandi. I just think her doing the Housewives has really lowered her standards. And if she was a quote unquote boss, she would have been able to capitalize on something else and had her own TV show about business. Like, yeah, she did have the restaurant spinoff, but hasn't Kandi had like 30 million different spinoff shows? And all the Kandi spinoff shows only get one. They only get one season. Because I just don't think the reality TV platform works for Kandi. It's just like, yeah, you can get a show, but if your show only stays on for one season, how valuable are you? And maybe it's in your contract, like, hey, they have to give me a show every few years or whatever. Maybe that's something that you write in your contract, but all your shows flop. The one show that I did like was the one where she would songwrite and try to make people dreams come true and stuff like that. I like that show. That I think it was called The Candy Factory. I like that, but they canceled it. Her and Todd getting married. Now, she definitely should have had a Don't Be Tardy for the Wedding or something like that spinoff shows, just like Kim had. Now, Kim has the complexion for the protection, so I get it why Kim had a whole bunch of season of that trashy ass show that nobody watched. But Kandi should have got some spinoffs off of that. She had the restaurant show, but there were so many rumors about the restaurant and stuff like that. And then the employees just seemed like a little bit too much and extra. I think that's why it turned people off. The OLG gang, yeah, and here's the thing, I didn't think that was a bad show at all. I just think that with her restaurant show, it was going to be compared to the Vanderpump Rules, which I don't watch that, but Vanderpump Rules and the OLG gang, Kandi and the Gang, that's what it was supposed to be called. It was always going to be compared. It was going to be a black and white situation. Oh, who has the better restaurants? Who has the better empire? Lisa Vanderpump or Kandi? It was always going to be that conversation. So it had to get canceled in order for Vanderpump Rules to still succeed and flourish. It's an unfortunate situation, but it is what it is. But as a person, I like Kandi. I just think that for show purposes and stuff like that, she don't need to be doing this. We want to see her out on tour with Escape. I honestly love the Escape SWV show. Even though it was chaotic and dramatic, I think seeing people work to a goal, because remember, that's how reality TV used to work back in the day. Remember? Everybody used to work towards a certain goal. Like they all had to work towards being not better, but like getting a job or completing a project. Remember when the Real World started? At the end of the show, they had to complete a project. The Road Rules show, like At the end, they got some kind of reward or something like that. Flavor of Love, they got to be with. No, this ain't a prize, but they got to be with Flavor. Like there was some kind of goal back in the day when you had reality shows. Now you just basically film and they contrive a story for you around whatever they film. It's not the same. It's not the same how it used to be. Reality TV is womp womp womp. Bethany Frankel. See, I'm not really too familiar with the whole New York and stuff like that, but the Bethany Frankel always gets shows canceled and stuff like that. And that lady just very off-putting. Like, you know how like there's like rich white folks who are very privileged and out of touch with reality. That's what the Bethany, and to shout out to all of y'all who like New York and stuff like that. But Bethany just seemed very out of touch. Just like from the stuff that she says, she just seems very ignorant. I just never liked that lady. You know, it. I I just never got it. What's up, Zipporah? Maybe Kandi can do making of the band. Boom. I think that would be perfect. Her bringing back making the band, putting it on Bravo, that would be perfect. I think that would work for her. Or Shark Tank. That would be the perfect show for Kandi. But other than that, I don't see any. Yeah. Kandi, get off that show. If you love your family, you'll get off of that show. You want to show that you actually care about Todd and everybody else, get off that show. Stop doing that show. Paula said, Kandi. Listen, do I think Kandi can sing? The thing about Kandi is, and you know, I kind of struggle with this with my voice a little bit, is that it's not outstanding. She just has an okay voice, but her voice fits into a group. And she actually songwrites. So as far as like she sing, can she write, can she dance? Yes. But is she the one that everybody comes to see? No, they want to see the Scott sisters when it comes to all that, you know? But it doesn't mean that she's not talented. She's a group singer, right? She's a group singer. That's why she's her voice is always displayed during the choruses and stuff like that, because she has a voice that fits it. It's distinguished. You know when you hear a song, oh, this is Kandi is featured in this song. Paula, yes, she can. Every man was a woman. Every man was a woman. Y'all remember Kaya and T.S. Madison when they used to do that? Oh, it's funny because Kandi actually did a skit off of it too. Like she did a parody off of it, which though, here's the thing. Kandi and her parodies, because they did mention that in the show too as well. I think those things are gold. Like she should stick with doing parodies of things. When she can laugh and make fun of herself, that's when Kandi is at her peak. She is gold. But I honestly don't think Kandi has fun during doing this show. Like it just seemed like she going along with it, and because it's quote unquote getting to the bag, she'll just stick with it. I even think because she always said if Phaedra comes back, she's quitting the show. I think that was all kind of like a threat. I think she would do it just even if Phaedra came back. I think she would still do the show. That's my honest opinion. Kandi sings just fine for her group. Goes with her group. Elite Leo, you said it right. She is not just hilarious. You don't like the skits that she do? Yeah, I don't know. And like I said again, make sure if you send this to Kandi, make sure you show the good part. It's not that I don't like her as a person and a businesswoman. I think she's great. But as far as her and being a housewife, just ain't with it. Yeah, that was a heavy situation. Which to me, it's still confusing how she forgave Portia, but she hasn't forgave Phaedra. You still haven't forgiven her. So that's my thing. If you're gonna forgive Portia, then you should forgive Phaedra. And I know some people say, "Oh, well, Phaedra is the one that started the rumor, so that's why she can't forgive her." Blah blah blah. Mm. I think honestly, the reason why she can't forgive Phaedra is because Phaedra is more talented than Kandi when it comes to the Housewives. Everybody would rather see Phaedra than they would Kandi. Y'all can agree or disagree. I don't care. But to me, people would pick Phaedra over Kandi. Well, hell, let me ask y'all. Let's do a 30-second countdown. Who would you rather? Would you rather have Kandi on the show or Phaedra? Let's do a 30-second countdown and see what y'all say. Okay, we got a couple of Kandis, but a lot of people said Phaedra. See? The unforgettable Kenya Reed Phaedra. Great. That was a classic. I think we would take Phaedra over Kandi. And it seems like a lot of you guys agree. And remember, you don't have to agree, but that's a threat to Kandi's job. Whether Portia is or not on the show, that's not really a threat to her job. So that's why she forgave Phaedra. I mean Portia, but Phaedra is a threat to Kandi's job. That's why she does not